Fáilte, welcome to a week in the life of a Gaelic writer. Mar a thuairt mín seachtain sa chai is seo seachtain na Gaelic an Indonesian agus hatór tachatasan the bhí ann. I only managed to make it 3 of the seachtain na Gaelic events, starting on Monday, le Orich a rain Anya Gandalach, muing barstoch Gunnachi van Wichkentöth. Duncan Ban McIntyre is a poet from the 18th century, and I'm very fond of his poetry and his songs. I will not claim to be an expert by any means. That's Anya's specialist subject. So it was very good to be at the Scottish Poetry Library to hear her talking about Duncan Ban McIntyre's life and his links with Edinburgh, because he spent a large proportion of his life in living in Edinburgh. And some of his songs were sung on the night by Gaelic Mach Gaelic, who is enjoying a certain amount of celebrity at the moment for having appeared in the Outlander series. I probably shouldn't talk about the Outlander series. I don't have an awful lot of kind things to say about it. That's for another time. But Monday night was a lovely little event. Lovely to hear songs that I wasn't familiar with before, such as Oran Doyen Campbell Avanka, a praise poem that Duncan Ban wrote for a man called John Campbell, who worked for the Royal Bank of Scotland, and also to hear Gaelic singing Hólami Neach go Dú. I can't remember the title of the song that Duncan Ban wrote in celebration of the repeal of the Disarming and Disclothing Acts, which allowed the Highlanders once again to wear their traditional costumes, which had been forbidden in the wake of the 45 uprising. So although I knew that song, Gaelic had a slightly different tune to the one that I was familiar with, so it's always nice to hear different renditions of these things. So that was Monday, and then for the rest of the week I've been busy. I've hardly done any writing of my own. I've been working on an English language editing project, but after this week that will be over and I can return to working on some of my own projects. An roedd eich arstún van mi ag init na scéalach in the Scottish Storytelling Centre, agus a caid da Janov Chluich. Ashling eich mi an Sauri, a Midsummer Night's Dream. Agus sé tiúndag úr gan a scéalach a seo, at son own chlesiche, Davy Walker. If you could imagine a one-man telling of the Midsummer Night's Dream story told by Puck. Puck, who seems to be squatting or sleeping rough, or somehow he is in reduced circumstances compared with the magical environment that he used to inhabit. And he is telling the story of all the things that happened that night. Rydw a sonrichtje me ying, agus chunami a jalaf chlich shono, chunami rut even clear chun na jalaf chliche sho. No there hast galesachug, so there was a sharing after a development of this play. You're seeing the play then at a much earlier stage. Chunami shin vachun bliona gale rúti go mar sin, smushit va ma a bhí geisking a rihisht, agus rút va sonrichtje ma ying, sé a chaint, sé iain dánalach a bha eth Gaelic a chuth eth an texe ag Shakespeare. Agus seachtíadach a bhí gín siad na scéalach, bha eth fachgil a lorach, a bha a ruchgachug kaint Shakespeare, a bha Karen Shalnasanta, a bha biarstoch, agus sé dainoch na kaintse bha siad a bha chótlach vor gósa, agus dogunis yn miele a bha ekeró an canon, agus hort Davy as J-Live vacation as Frickerton as J-Lives hort nach roi hein joloch kutschgen fachgel sin no chabau nach roi an cloinching ach chabe kaint leichel of our own ga agus good de chuda na chaine rúte chluine gen nu the ágsdog an jachlish so sinne se register of a chaint agus is glé anjef a hashing a cloinching Gaelic ha a varachis Sean varstoch agus Gaelic a vibel han an trich gehashing cloinching kaint motion agus moshit va oversich klachwor a vi geestekrish in Jalfluch. Ach, even if you didn't understand a word of Gaelic, you would still have understood this play, and I was sitting next to someone who didn't understand Gaelic, but all the objects that were put to use to represent the different characters. So there were books and bottles and plastic bags and boots and sleeping bags and all sorts of things that were made to represent the characters in the play, and it was all done in a very amusing way. Lots of physical clowning, and I think it was completely accessible for that reason. So ha Davy agus Liz and Stúriche agus Ian fer a chur Gaeliceth had uleg mollig son peace drama chotlach for a chruachig. Unfortunately, that was the end of the tour, so if you haven't seen it, you've missed it. Unless, of course, it comes back again, and that might happen, I don't know. But it was, yes, a very enjoyable experience, and they are to be commended, the whole cast and company. The whole cast? There was only one person in the cast. The whole company. As we should know about my double bill, the other part of that double bill was Tuckle Nashin, this spoken word performance by Martin O'Connor. And I have to admit, I didn't quite take to this quite so readily. Get the Ryan Marston O'Connor gleva. Get the Biohel, get the chaintjeke nu the bring as a veerle, sjoelach is eving agus va roeiemalm. Bjarlim gro fuimnachig de Gaelicige. Na bjar, agus morsit ge big smach agus shalov ige a chaint a va chur gefeim an a vi tashpenag na skeelloch ige. Maar a va cha binnen na piece in Gaelic agus na piece in Bearle. Agus ha Marston na gionsach in Gaelics, ha tor Gaelic eonsachig, ach hur mi groi cho volle shoch nachro Gaelic ike haast ike nie de fararoi a charst cho korstel is je dag anen. Agus reinshin jiffer ha mis munihug na roi roetbik na ilente gebigge es na piece in Gaelic jenu charst komarisch na piece in Bearle. Ach ha kolach gevel ha en da galop chluch vi don goorst maar double bill. As ha kolach gevel sjo kordig die luchtgeestoch as an een jiffer aatjigen as na helen in een jaar. Agus ha durf vi grash gunna vi kursia set gan is sinna hafa nergo ichid she jonsige graimi hine de Gaelic ach va ik amenen kan nur va rochgechug fer Donny a uiste jis a va shine as a fark bar son shin femi to vi shine mar a heinig Donny agus like she se bi as a nuaimnechug a sin so amach an an dói of a nach de chétich go búlach a vi kretching as a character of arach gochug. But in spite of that, I think he did a grand job, and the English stuff was very funny, the patter, the sort of the the obsession that people have with how you speak, how people speak. And he's saying, why can people not speak properly? I'm not going to attempt his Glasgow accent, you know. You can't have someone with a strong Scottish accent announcing the news. What if there was a bomb? Say, oh, there was a pure bomb! And yes, we do have all these hang-ups about our language. I'm trying to think who it was who said that one Englishman can't open his mouth without making some other Englishman despise him. I don't think it's just Englishmen, it's English speakers, and maybe it's speakers of all languages, who knows. So, coiu, bishin and chachgoin akam. So the Georgian law fame mi chirig chyn an opor jesigi. Agus yn achiachgoin chyn ysgym je cwsper agus faniergo. Oh, rwtele, iechoin ich mi. Ha een tres video krimaken yn ish bio eth YouTube. Fa mi caid eth gioltas le ien fiolnach mach cleoj. Agus bi video krimaken yn och gogol siachgoin. Agus bi mishe rash yn achiachgoin le a week in the life. Agus gus yn orsyn, well, sinne womse agus himiri hischif.